Hey everyone, Wicked Jutto here. Time for another Raid Your Bases. Today we're raiding Forney and the builder is scream5982. Okay, so Scream writes, "Hey man, I'm new to the game. Think you can give me pointers on one of my bases? Love the video by the way. I tried to do my best with only 2000 capacity." Okay, let's jump into it. Just so you know, the maximum capacity that you can find on bases or outposts is, I think, 4,500. So once you kind of get the feel for the game and like you actually want to build like a deadly base, like something that kind of kills, I'd definitely try to go for those 4,000, 4,500 base plots. But yeah, it's just something to consider. I know like normally those size plots kind of land you in the brutal section depending on like your trap layout. So it depends if you want to like go for like a normal base or a dangerous base to kind of get yourself kind of acclimated to the game and like familiar with the concepts, things like that. So yeah, that would be my only recommendation, is maybe do like two or three like, you know, smallish or medium-ish bases, and then kind of switch over to the 4,500 base. So Prestige 2, so still quite new. Okay. Okay, so that's the Harvey path. We'll check out the tombs. This is social, but okay. Got it. So okay. Cool. This is good, by the way. I think if I was going to say anything, just put a path, like a decal path to the tombs, because this is good, but yeah, a little path. I know these are decals technically, but there are like decals with lines, if that makes sense. It'll just make that much easier to read. So this must be a medium base then, if I'm correct. Yeah, medium. So cool. All right. So flames out the back. Just one thing to note with this one is you'll be able to see this as a radar, so it kind of triggers here. It could maybe work for new players, like brand new to the game, but I think like as you kind of progress up, this isn't gonna fool anyone. So just trying to think how you could make this work. You could definitely just trying to think how you could make this work. I think if you this would be the change I would do. Rather than you see the flames up front like this, try to place the flames like maybe say this kind of extended this way and there was a hallway. So this initial hallway, there's nothing here, and then like as you turn the corner you see these flames, and the flames, if you've got the mod unlocked, it's called Dragon Breath, you can extend that range to 5 tiles, and then I would put pistons all along there. It's just something to consider. It's the downside is there's no pressure stopping me from, you know, kind of pushing in, right? So normally with these types of traps, you want like pressure from the back to kind of force you into this bad position. But I do have a build guide on this on the if you look up the YouTube channel, there's build my bases. One of those kind of goes through the piston flame trap, so take a look at that if you're interested. But yeah, I'd maybe like if this corridor kind of pushed out this way, I'd put the flame trap on this kind of wall here, and then just pistons all along there. Could work. That's good. It's kind of like a blind bolt shot. This glass, because it's see-through, you can kind of see that trap activate. So either make that a solid cube, or you could make this a corrosive, depending on how the base is structured above. And you wouldn't even see the bolt kind of highlight. If you saw, I heard the bolt, and then I looked up and I could see those bolts kind of engaging. The problem is, because this is a solid block, you won't get all the bolts come through, so I could just jump up and dodge it if I've got my timing right, or I can just jump back. Again, there's nothing pressuring me behind me, so I can just duck back. So that's a couple changes I'd suggest. So you've got, let's see, this is another thing. One big thing about building, and when you're raiding as well, is vision is really key. So as a raider, I want to maximize my vision of a base before I get into it. So I saw earlier you've got down here, you've got your base all in glass. If I was like a really meticulous raider, I could just kind of walk this base and go, okay, I can see Plasma Sentinel back there and, you know, whatever else. So I can kind of get a heads up of what's coming before it actually hits me. Same thing, sorry, not this entrance, in here. Because this is glass, I can see this is a Sentinel here, I can see a bolt shot there. I can't quite see what's there, bomb shot, so just something to consider is like, I'd swap this out to a different tile set, just so you can't get that initial intel. So take that out, take out these bolts. I hear a enforcer. Now one thing that may happen, if it's not tethered, yeah, exactly what I was expecting, is these guards are a bit dumb, and they'll just walk straight into danger, straight into pistons, whatever. So they'll kill themselves. So that's 2 minions I didn't even fire at, that just kind of self-kill. So one thing you could do, I'll just back up. Oh shit. That's good, by the way. I think that's really good, because I didn't even hear the guard. I just saw that little indicator to warn me I gotta back up. So that could definitely catch off new raiders. So what I'd suggest, if you want to keep this same layout, is maybe consider putting leash. I think it's called short leash. That will stop the guards from moving off their tiles that they start on and just kind of stick there. They won't try to run towards the raider. What else? A cheaper alternative is you can isolate guards onto single tiles that aren't pathable. That way they're definitely locked into that one tile and won't move around, try to path around. They'll just kind of sit there and shoot away. So they're 2 options you've got there. So let's take out that. Oh, okay, cool. Jump up, so that cannonback sees you. Okay, that's cool. Okay, he didn't engage, but that's fine. I can kind of see the setup is you kind of want them to shoot bolts up here, and then you kind of force the raider to jump up. Just one thing with that, I did jump here, but raiders could also just jump from the outside, and if they've got the extended grab range mod, they'll just be able to grab their bolts from the outside, no issues there. So if you want to prevent that from happening, you probably want to insulate maybe one block or 2 extra blocks from the outside, so you can't do that. I probably wouldn't recommend for this, just because it's not that difficult to just jump up and grab it, but for other more difficult bases, it's just imperative you insulate, so just something to keep in mind. Oops. Just got the timing off there a little bit. Okay. And okay, the guard's still there, so he might actually have tether. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Okay, so guard there. Just drop back. Okay. Okay. So he looks like he's kind of isolated, so that's good. He'll just sit there. I think that could be quite dangerous for normal dangerous maps, so I think keep him. He's good. Okay, and then you've got a flame trap. So one thing to note, it depends on the state of this, like if this is taken out or if you're dealing with speedrunners. Because I'm a meticulous raider, I'll kind of wipe things out as I go. So if I'm here, okay, he's good, by the way. I think I'd keep him too. But there's nothing really stopping me from just kind of walking this way rather than walking on this path. So I do hear a Forney somewhere. Okay, anyway, I'm sure it will come around. But yeah, I think this could work. Okay, interesting. I'm wondering how he paths there. Okay. That's quite interesting. I think that could definitely catch off raiders. The only thing I'd say is it's a little slow. But yeah, I think that could work. One other thing about this, I think it does actually have the dragon breath mod, which is good. I'd just bring it one tile closer. If you intend to keep this, I'd move it one tile closer, because then if I'm here, that engages. If I'm here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it doesn't have dragon's breath. I'd put dragon's breath if you want to keep this, but if that was the dragon's breath, I'd die here. But because I'm here, I can just take this out, and there's no pressure from anything from stopping me from doing that. So just something to note. Again, it's kind of hard starting out the game. I definitely found starting this game quite difficult because there's so many mods. Not just the traps themselves, but also the mods for traps. A lot of the mods are good for traps, so you kind of just gotta what's the word? Just kind of grind quite a bit early on until you have basically everything unlocked. But until that point, you just gotta be wise with the choices that you are unlocking. I think like unlocking every trap is a good thing to do first, just to give you the most variety, but then I'd concentrate on grabbing mods. There are a few mods that are like imperative, like the Dragon Breath mod for the Flame Trap and the Hunter mod for the Bolt Trap. I'd try to unlock those too. Oh, nice. Okay, with the bombs. Yeah, that's cool. I think that could definitely work for sure. That explains why that cannon back wasn't moving as well, so I was kind of curious about why that was happening. So that's really good. I think that's your best trap here, to be honest. One little change I'd suggest is this block here is these are 2 blocks. I'd make a half block that kind of like goes like that, and then what's going to happen if you've got it's called Spring Load or Chaos, those 2 mods together, or if you only had to choose one to unlock, if you don't have it unlocked, choose the Chaos, because Chaos will just bounce everything around more. So I'd put a little half slat, and then that kind of forces the bombs down into here. So just a couple things to change. I'd even, it's a little bit difficult, but I'd even consider changing this block here to be a half slat, so it kind of angles down that way. That way the bombs are angled here, then bounce down here, nothing kind of blocking those bombs. Because basically for this trap to work, you want the bombs to kind of land here, like up to this range. So That's another change. It does mean you'll probably have to move this piston to the floor, but I think that would be fine. So yeah, I think this is your best trap so far. Let's keep going. Okay, so grapple and bombs. Okay, and bolts. Okay. So you grapple up into the bolt shots. Okay, into bombs too. Okay, so that's cool. I don't know how much this will get raiders. But I think it's different. So I think another thing about this game is like just trying different things rather than just sticking to the meta. You might come across something really deadly. So I'd continue trying to experiment with this type of stuff. One thing with that grapple, the Iron Claw, what you can do is for speedrunners, they're just going to speedrun all the way through here. You can consider putting like a corrosive cube here, or two corrosive cubes, and what's going to happen is that grapple is going to grapple straight through those cubes and grab the raider and pull them through these two corrosive cubes and kill them. So that's another option, or you could just keep this. I think it could work. It's just it's a bit hard to get it to work because these arrows will likely kill. So if I was to grapple up here, that would activate and activate. There's a chance that those I guess if you draw the attention of the raider to kill this, then those bombs shoot. Yeah, I think I'd keep that. Just trial and error is the best way to learn, to be honest. This is too easy to see, like I said earlier. Try to limit the visibility of raiders. The other thing is this is really hard for the sentinel to kind of lock on to the raider. It's only here that it would start engaging. From here, it's definitely not going to see. From this point as a raider, I can see it already and I'm going to take it out, so before it even engages. So swap out these and maybe change the position of this. Maybe consider swapping it to second wave. I'm not sure. If this was second wave, what you could do is throw on the self-destruct mod, and then as it appears and I grab this, if I shoot this and it's got the self-destruct, that will self-destruct even before it's like engaged, and it really pressures the raider. So if you maybe moved it to here, or you know, one here, whatever, that really puts a lot of pressure on the raider to get the hell out of there. So if you paired that with maybe a rushdown or something, oh nice, this is good. Again, I'd swap this to a non-clear block, because you can see that there's a trap here, otherwise you'd be able to see right through it. But yeah, I think that could be cool. Is like pressure the raider off that gen mat square, and then, you know, either kill them with an unsuspecting spike, or you could have like two warmongers kind of run up and try and kill the raider from a hollow block second wave, something like that. They're all different options. Okay. Let me know if this is in the normal range, because or dangerous. I don't think it would be a brutal. Oh, it is a brutal. Wow. Okay. That's rough. Okay, no exit traps, so that's fine. Yeah, cool. There's some ideas. I kind of talked a lot during the replay, so I don't have too much to say here, but I'd just say if you're new to the game, just the best way to learn is trial and error is number one. Number two is watch your replays, because the best source of like getting better as a builder is watching the replays. Because if you're skipping watching the replays, the best part of learning is seeing what raiders do in different situations, and like different skill levels too, like high tier raiders will just kind of fly through this versus new to the game players might, fall for a unsuspecting spike trap, something like that. So keep that in mind. Is like, yes, this is a brutal, but it's probably on the easier side of brutals, and that some of that's due to just not having enough unlocks for the game. So that will work itself out over time. So yeah, hopefully that's a few tips to keep in mind. So yeah, we'll kind of leave it there. And if you want, maybe as you get this to say Prestige 10 or something, try resubmitting and let us know how you went. So yeah, with that, thanks everyone for watching. If you like this kind of content, consider liking and subscribing. It really helps us out. And we'll see you in the next one.